Bryant C project. My name is Ray, and we are going to be live streaming from our YouTube channel as well as from Twitch. So if you would like to have the visual component of all of this, be sure to head over to twitch.tv/University of Kentucky or our YouTube channel, WRFL 88.1. So we are going to begin with, we are going to be introducing our guests. This is the Bryant C project. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you for having me. I'm Bryant C from the Bryant C Project, and actually here at a special location tonight out in Richmond, Kentucky at Jettlane Studios. Thanks to Fredi Handshoe, and got a lot of good music for y'all.
Well, thank you so much for being here. We are very glad that you have been on WRFL Live before, and we're glad to have you back. So I know that you have a new single out, still going on. So very excited to have you here, and to, even under these special circumstances in Zoom and everything, it's still going to be a great show. And thank you so much for coming on.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here. Looking forward to starting out with that new single.
All right, well, you're going to be hearing it. Here is the Bryant C project with his new single, Still Going On.
I've seen so many things in my time. I've even told my life story. I've seen so many things I'm going down. Even some of you done that before me. Some with big regret. It's seen so many of them, and maybe some they just don't care. Taking back over each word. I've got so many things on my slide. Wishing me that you gotta watch who you get in and trust. Out in the store these days. Some just want to see you fall in because they couldn't find the I bet you wish you could paint your future. Everything will be that way. Oh, yeah. And though you tried, you won't know it better. I've seen enough in life of this and that. You'd really be a fool if you think you were. But I'm telling you right now that I'm not done. No, I'm not done. No, I'm not done. No, I'm not. I'm still going on.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. That was the Bryant C project with his new single, Still Going On. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. WRFL has always been there, so it's nice to bring something new to the table this year and things getting back to normal. You know, it's great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So that's actually a good segue into a conversation. So I know that you performed here for WRFL Live before.
Yeah.
Was that in person? Was that via Zoom like this was? You know, how was that?
Actually, I've had a couple of occasions with you all. The first time, I think back in 2015 or 16, I was there in the studio, and that one was a little different. I actually was debuting my new EP, Pay the Price, at that time, and we kind of played the album in its entirety, and that was actually recorded here at Jettlane with Fredi. And the second time I was there in the studio and performed, I think that was in 2019. And last year, I did my first Zoom with you all for WRFL Live from my place. And, you know, here we are again back doing Zoom this year. But I wanted to switch it up a little bit. And Fredi was kind enough to let me come in the Jettlane Studios here in Richmond. And, you know, got a little different scenery here, which is pretty cool. This is the, you know, studio room with the tracking. And thought it'd be pretty cool for the viewers to get to see and hear about.
Yeah, definitely. You know, having that background and finally we're able to have another way that we're able to have that visual aspect of it, it definitely looks really cool. So I hope that you were able to get that space. So you mentioned that you're in Richmond, Kentucky right now. Are you originally from Richmond or the Kentucky area?
No, I'm based out of Winchester now, but I'm originally from Maryland. Born and raised in Maryland, but I've been out here in Kentucky going about 10 years now. So it's like second home now.
I can imagine. Yes. So what brought you up to Kentucky?
Well, family. I've always had family here, and we visit off and on. And I came out here, and I was helping my mom out, and I was kind of bouncing back and forth from here to Maryland and California a little bit, and I was liking it here. And you know, then I found out my son Elijah. Hey, if you're listening. He was on the way. So, you know, once he was there, you know, that's a done deal. So I knew this is where I was going to be at. And I've just made the best of it. Actually, I think I've gotten more done since I actually came here to Kentucky. It was kind of a new start. It was definitely hitting the reset button again, but bringing myself and what I do along with it. So it was pretty cool.
Definitely. That sounds like a really intense process of a lot of bouncing around back and forth.
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah, so did your musical process, when did that start? Did that start when you were in kind of that transitioning period of your life? Did that start younger? When did you really start making music?
Well, yeah, I started playing guitar back in like 97 and started teaching myself, and, you know, throughout high school, you know, played in some bands and stuff and everything. But when I came to Kentucky, I had these songs I was working on. I finally started working on originals, and I knew I wanted to form a project. And you know, I was auditioning at the time for like singers and bass players and all that, and I was writing the lyrics. I was like, you know, I think I'll just sing these songs myself. I like to sing, and you know, I kind of formed the Bryant C project once I came here to Kentucky. But I had some of the material like prior, but it really got its foot on the ground here in Kentucky, and just been going ever since. That was about 2012 when I started it.
Yeah, it's really cool that, you know, Kentucky became a home for you, not just because of your son, but it also became a home to the Bryant C project, the entire project that
yes,
around. That's really neat.
Very true.
Yeah. So having those roots in Kentucky, have you found that Kentucky music or other local artists have had any significant influence on you as you've developed your style?
I think most of my influence and my style influence came from a lot of people that I've listened to, just growing up. Like if you listen to my music, it's a wide range of styles. Like blues is the foundation of most of it, but it's mixed with rock, R&B, sometimes a little bit of hip hop. But I've got influences from everyone from Prince to Jimi Hendrix, Michael Jackson, Tupac, that early 90s hip hop and rock, like Alice in Chains, Nirvana, people like Kiss, B.B. King. I mean, just Albert King, it just goes on. So it's kind of like a little melting pot. But as far as the scene out here, I think the scene is different a little bit now than what it was when I came out here. It seemed like a little bit more of a variety years back. And now I see more of, a lot, definitely the country type of thing is going strong out here. Wish it was back then, but I think there used to be a little bit more, some rock bands out here, some funk and soul bands, but it's changed a little bit now, which is cool though. I got respect for all that stuff, country and bluegrass and southern rock, but there's still some, other styles popping up out, but I think that's the majority of what's going on out here in the Lexington area anyway. I can't speak for like Louisville. I know Louisville's got a really good scene. Up in northern Kentucky, Covington, they got some things going, and I hear a lot about Bowling Green, down southern Kentucky. So it's it's a lot going, but I think the Lexington scene has definitely changed some.
Yeah, and as local music director, I really look at how these trends are changing and what kind of styles are becoming really popular in the local music scene here in Lexington. I've definitely noticed a bit of an uptick in dream pop and indie rock inspired bands.
Yeah, I'd like to see more of that jump out too, definitely.
Yeah, we've definitely had a lot of it, and I think that's also just with the up and coming generation of artists, making their own thing out of the bands that they grew up with, or the bands that they started listening to when they were teenagers, similar to what you were saying about Nirvana and Tupac, Alice in Chains, and Prince and Jimi Hendrix.
Oh yeah, definitely. But one thing I left out, there is a good hip hop scene in Lexington too that I see growing more, and I think we should keep that going and try to keep the violence out of it so everybody can live to enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Always trying to look for new hip hop and R&B singers out here in Lexington, Kentucky. So yeah, I'm glad that we're having that. We have a little bit of that scene.
Yeah, and I think now that things are, opening back up, we're going to see a whole lot more of just everyone doing their own thing. I think, I'm sure people appreciated live music before, but with it coming back now, I think it's going to be appreciated that much more.
Definitely, for sure. So we are approaching on 9:14, and we're going to hear a message from one of our underwriters. But when we get back, we're going to hear more from the Bryant C project and hopefully hear some more music, more interviewing. But until then, be sure to keep it tuned all the way to the left, and we're going to hear a real quick message. We're not, because apparently our aux site has stopped working. So we're gonna be right back real quick. Once again, we're going to all right. Sorry about that little technical glitch, but we got it figured out, and we are back on WRFL Live with the Bryant C project, and we're going to be chatting more, hearing some more music, and doing all that fun stuff that we know and love here on WRFL Live. So we were just talking some more about the local music scene in Lexington. I know that you mentioned that there was a hip hop singer who you've been really liking in Lexington. Do you have any other local bands who you've been listening to lately?
Well, just being back out gigging more. I've networked with some people, but some local artists that I'll give some shout outs to that I've seen doing their thing are, Ivy Rye, this band, Six Shot Remedy. They just put out something, a new song, I think, called Insanity. A new single is really cool. My boy Jay Rags, he's always on the scene putting out some new music. It's a lot of people doing their thing right now. I really don't want to leave anyone out, but if you know me, then you know I'm talking about you as well. But even here, Fredi, who runs the studio, his band's for Lily, they've got a lot of cool stuff. The scene's really grown lately, so there's a lot of people. My boy Brett Higgins does his thing. It's just a lot of people on the scene doing their thing right now, which is nice. Because if we all if one star is shining, that's cool. But if we can, if someone's looking from above and they see a bunch of stars down there in Kentucky shining, they're gonna be like, okay, something's going on there. Just like they see in Nashville or Atlanta or wherever. So we can get that going here, and it'd be pretty nice.
Yeah, definitely. It would be so nice to have that energy here in Kentucky, because there's so much rich music history in Kentucky. You mentioned it with bluegrass, and Appalachia also has just such an amazing musical culture.
Yeah, one of the great sound guy around. I ran into him the other day, Gator. A lot of people know him as Gator, but he was talking about his appreciation for that. But yeah, it's just it's a lot of talent out here.
Yeah, definitely. So I know that you mentioned previously that you started playing guitar. How did you teach yourself how to play guitar? Was that something that you were taught in school? Did you have any of that formal music education, or were you mainly self-taught?
I was mostly self-taught because I'm a left-handed guitar player. And when I first got my guitar, I got a right-handed guitar, and it was strung right-handed. And my uncle, Ronnie Carter, he's a bass player. And, one day he took my guitar and he restrung it left-handed style. And he's like, try it now. And right after that, it just felt more comfortable. And that's when I really started taking off with it more. But yeah, I just started teaching myself some of my favorite songs from artists that I like. Then I discovered like guitar tabs, and that opened a new door because I was learning all these songs, and then, started writing some of my own stuff. And I went to a music school briefly in LA called Musicians Institute for like one semester, and it was fun. Don't get me wrong, they definitely taught me some things, but I didn't want to end up being like one of those program type people that kind of, sound like everybody else. So, it was fun, but I kind of got back away, and it was also like very high, like expensive, but it was a good experience though. It was a great experience, but I kind of took what I learned there and then continued doing my own thing with it, just keeping the originality with it.
That's interesting you mentioned your uncle, though. Was music a really big part of your home when you were growing up, either just hearing it or playing it yourself?
It was always around. My mom, she was always listening to, she might have been listening to Prince, Purple Rain might have been playing, or she might have been watching like a Kiss video or something like that. And then my dad, his style was a little bit different. He liked play Santana and even some gospel music and some blues. And my uncle, he grew up playing bass, so he played in a lot of bands coming up from the 70s and 80s. And he was actually offered to play bass for Hootie and the Blowfish, like when they were starting, but he didn't go for it because I guess it wasn't his thing, even though like he said he wished he had taken. but yeah, he put me onto a lot of stuff. Like every time as a kid when we go visit, he'd always send me home with a different CD. Like check this out. Check this out. Like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Frank Marino, Mahogany Rush. So I was young, just having all this music thrown at me, and then playing music as well. It was all making an impact on me. definitely kept me inspired.
Yeah, that's excellent. I just think of so many of my family members myself who put me on to music that I know and love today and have influenced my own music style. So
Yeah, you gotta be thankful for it, because if not, it's like, would it be like this right now? So you just gotta be thankful for it.
yeah, really. So how do we feel about maybe doing another song here?
Oh, definitely. I'm
Yeah.
gonna play my next to most recent single that came out before Still Going On. It's called Change Your Ways, and it's on all platforms. And it goes something like this.
Now you can say you want me, and I can say I want you. And you can try to show me, but who says that be true? Girl, the way you change your way, I just don't know what to do. Now you can take it from me, and I can say I'm for you. And you can say you adore me, but is that really you? Is that really you? Girl, the way you change your way, I just don't know what to do. Now we could be in the starlight, in the starlight, in the starlight, oh, dancing in the rain. And when suddenly it's over, and nothing is the same. Nothing is the same. So how can I get comfortable with you when this is your day? If I had seen the song before, would it be the same? Girl, the way you change your way, I just don't know what to do.
And that was Change Your Ways. I think it might be on mute.
Sorry about that. Thank you.
I'd love to hear what you just said, though, because you sounded really into it. You looked really into it.
I never get to see myself when I'm talking into the DJ mic. That was Change Your Ways by the Bryant C project, who we have on WRFL Live here with us tonight until 10 p.m. It's currently 9:26, and we, once again, just heard Change Your Ways. So it's funny, I know that you mentioned you had listened to a little bit of Santana when you were growing up before. I definitely hear some Santana in that song, and I don't know if that's just confirmation bias with the song title, but the guitar licks definitely sound Santana to me. So that was really cool. That was cool to hear the connection there.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, he's definitely an influence. And actually, for anybody in the Cincinnati with Earth, Wind, and Fire, I think now.
Sorry, what was that? You cut out a little bit. Didn't hear the last bit.
Oh, I was just saying that speaking of Santana, I heard that he's coming up to Cincinnati in 2022 with Earth, Wind, and Fire. So it's going to be a pretty good show to check out.
No way, that's awesome.
Yeah, we should all go.
Road trip. Nah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I know that you've been releasing a lot of singles lately. Do you have a favorite song from your most recent project that you've been working
on? Yeah, I've really been wanting to stay more consistent. I mean, I say that every year, but I think this year will probably be my most consistent year since this has been going. But I mean, as far as a favorite, I mean, it's hard because they're my favorites in different ways. But right now, I'd say, still going on my most recent one. I really like, the changes in it and the musicianship for writing it and the lyrics and everything. But I've also got something new coming out. I don't want to say the name or anything of it yet, but that's going to be another favorite. That's going to be something to look out for soon. We actually recorded it right here at Jettlane Studios just a couple weeks ago. So it was nice to be back. And if you all just want to get a little peek, this is a little look into the mixing board. Fredi, if you want to say hi. Hi. That's Fredi Handshoe, who runs the studio and makes the magic happen as well. But yeah, that's just something to look out for. Also, definitely, some more new music coming. But yeah, still going on. It's definitely holds a nice spot. I was real happy with how it came out. Yeah, it was nice. Yeah.
That's exciting to hear about new music. And I know that's kind of a hard question, kind of hard to choose between your songs because they're all kind of your babies.
Yeah, it is though. It is like difficult sometimes, but they all like hold a memory and keep a certain spot from a certain time in life, and it's real nice how to do that.
Yeah, for sure. So when you start to write your songs, do you typically start with the music first or the lyrics? And where do each of those come from?
Usually, I say 90% of the time the music does come first, and then I might have a topic on my mind that I know I want to write about, or sometimes the music will just bring lyrics to mind and I'll, just start writing. But sometimes lyrics do come first. When the lyrics come first, it feels like more of an open field, like where do I want to go with the music? So you gotta kind of hone in on it just a little bit more, think about really, okay, what vibe do these lyrics have and what mood is this gonna have? So I kind of like it when the music comes first.
Yeah, definitely. And are there any particular inspirations that are consistent throughout the songs? Where do you typically draw that inspiration from?
That's funny. I mean, lyrically, the inspiration will come from experiences in life, things that might be going on in life, good or bad. But, you put it all out there because no one's portraying to be perfect or have a perfect life or anything like that. And, being an artist, you kind of wear your heart on your sleeve. So you're going through something, sometimes your fans might know about it too. And music is a good way to express it. But you can also celebrate with music, the good things going on in life as well. But music wise, as far as the inspiration, I mean, kind of maybe the mood you're in. Sometimes you might hear something. I know sometimes someone might, send me a song or say, hey, what do you think about this song? And that song will give me an idea for something else. Definitely your influences, like, just like I guess where you said you could hear some, Santana influence and change your ways. Sometimes that might come out, you might not even realize it, but, definitely with that, the mood and just music you've listened to and heard before. Sometimes art, maybe, I like having paintings and things up, it influences as well. Or, sometimes you might be at a new location or somewhere you're not usually at, and you might just feel inspired and start writing and see what comes out. It really varies.
Right. That's actually really interesting. Is there a specific painting or art piece that comes to mind that has inspired a song?
Not so much a specific painting, but I really like abstract art and painting. So sometimes when I look at them, certain colors and everything, it'll definitely inspire, and sometimes make me just want to pick up the guitar and just start playing. And then sometimes, things going on in the world can definitely, inspire things as well.
Yeah. And there's a lot happening in the world now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, has that been cathartic or healing at all?
How's that?
Writing about these events, has that served as a cathartic process for you and being able to process these events?
Kind of, it feels good to speak about certain things sometimes, but I try not to. I like to keep music fun as well. It's something I do every now and then, depending on what's going on, but I'm not like someone that would write about stuff like that all the time, because there's a lot of other things to write about as well. But if something, serious enough, you might want to touch on it sometime.
Definitely. So, kind of on that topic, what sorts of subjects do you usually find yourself writing about or writing music about? Besides
as far as things going on in the world, songs that I've written, things about, like on my second album, Pay the Price, I wrote a song called Can't Take It. And it was kind of inspired by like those school shootings that were going on a lot back then. And my son was just born. I was thinking, man, I can't imagine hearing about something like this because, at school. And I was just thinking about it, and the song Can't Take It came to mind, and the lyrics just started coming out, saying lyrics like, we live in a world so crazy, every day's a gift, and, things like that. And then actually the next song I'm going to play was another one that I wrote about things going on in the world. It was inspired last year. It's called Injustice. And it was just about, the injustices going on, like just different races and just hate crimes with different people and things like that. And just something I wanted to touch on with that. I'd never really done a song like that. And I thought it was a good time to do that as well. So it's kind of something, I do every now and then. But those are probably the two most, recent ones as far as inspired by things going on in the world. But then too, sometimes you're inspired by fun nights too. Like I got a song on my first album called Song for the Night, and it's just about, kind of just playing out on the road, going to the next city and seeing what the night's gonna bring. So, I kind of mix it up a little bit, there's good and bad out there.
Yeah, definitely. And it's good to have that blend. So.
Oh yeah.
And on that note, do you want to go ahead and hear Injustice?
Yeah, we will. This was really a rocker track. I'm gonna do a little more of a little laid back version. It goes on something like this.
Come on. I'm tired of all the hate. I'm tired of all the violence. Why you all up in my face? Your injustice is conniving. You think you really got me good, but I can see right through you. When you got bodies on the ground, now it's time I tell the truth to you. I don't need your love. I don't need you in my life. think you're running again. You're just messing up the world with your injustice reign. My color really bothers you, cause it's funny you don't know me. Wanna bother me out in public, just trying to make a show of me. So don't go and get mad, cause my people take a stand. How you harass the man who did what's on this land? I don't need your love. I don't need you in my life. You're running, you're running good. You're just messing up the world with your injustice, babe.
All right, thank you. That was, once again, the Bryant C Project. It's Bryant C with his song Injustice right here on WRFL Live. It is about 9:38, so we have about 20 more minutes left with Bryant C. So thank you. Thank you once again for being here, and thank you for playing that song. It was fantastic and definitely fun to listen to and fun to watch.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Thanks again for having me. Really having a good time.
Oh, of course, I'm glad. So, now that more people are getting vaccinated, especially in the Kentucky area, are you thinking about doing more live performances soon?
Oh yeah, definitely. I went and got my vaccinations in and started back playing out live back in May, and I got to play Georgetown and Whitesburg, Richmond, Louisville, and definitely looking forward to getting some more gigs booked. I've got some more things coming up. July 9th, I'll be back out in Louisville at the Air Devils Inn, and July 24th, I'll be playing at Midway Music Fest, and August is actually something special being worked out with EKU. I'm gonna talk about the details on that a little bit more later, but I'm looking forward to that. And got some more places that I plan to reach out to and book, and more shows coming up. We got some merchandise coming, so it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good summer.
Yeah, that sounds really exciting. You're definitely putting the work into it. I hope that everything is gonna, fingers crossed, go according to plan and everything.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd like to also get down to Nashville this year and back up to Cincinnati. I haven't been up to Cincinnati in a while to play, and I've never played Nashville, so that's definitely on my list for this year, to get down there and really just go out and play wherever. I do this every night, in a different city if I could. I love it, so yeah.
Definitely, that sounds like it would be amazing, and I really hope that it'll get to happen soon. So what's some of the things that you miss the most about performing live?
Just, seeing the people's reactions to the music and paying attention to what song from the set list, the songs from the set list they might have been feeling the most, or, people coming up to you at the end telling you that, that I like the lyrics in that song or how it impacted them, or, I do some Jimi Hendrix covers, and I know Ben Georgetown, this guy came up to me at the end or actually he asked me to come back to him and his wife's table. He said, Bryant C, see me. So I went to the back, and he told me that playing Foxy Lady reminded him of back in the late 60s when he'd come home from school and his sister was upstairs just blasting Jimi Hendrix staying in her room, and he said it brought back some good memories. So, you know, if I could help do that for someone, that's really cool. I also enjoy hearing the stories. You know, I just like touching people with the music. That's really what it's all about. The surge of, you know, energy you get from just being up there playing in front of people too. It's just a good feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like your screen. Oh, you're moving again. Yeah, but
How's that?
yeah, looking better now. Yeah.
Okay, good.
No worries, just part of the process until we get back live.
Oh yeah. Gotta love streaming.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So you definitely sound like you're very connected to your audience members, and that's really neat. Is there anything in particular that you want them to be able to get out of your music?
Just, you know, whatever's going on in life at that moment or whatever, you know, just remember you came out and had a good time to the Bryant C project that night. And if there's some lyrics in the song that, you know, help you out or make you feel good, or that you can relate to, then, you know, I'm glad that that was able to happen. And, you know, I hope we stay connected. I try to, you know, always let them know, you know, you can check me out at BryantCproject.net, because, you know, just because the night's over doesn't mean the connection with the music has to be. You know, I try to, you know, keep my business cards ready to hand out, and I have some shirts soon that are also made here at Jettlane Studios. Get some t-shirts made for people. They can, you know, have something to remember the night by. And I like to, you know, try to get something, you know, a video clip or something to, you know, go out and show the people online that, you know, something happened as well, because everybody's not always in the area and able to catch a show. So I'd like to, you know, get that out to as many people as possible, rather they're near or far away.
For sure, yeah. And I think that once the pandemic is at least calming down and more people are getting vaccinated, you know, we'll be able to have even more of those connections with people.
Definitely.
I'm really excited, but even then, you know, there are so many connections made over Zoom right now and over the internet, and that's still something.
There really are, though. I mean, if people didn't know about Zoom before, they know about it now.
Like, this is not a new service, or at least it couldn't be. But
yeah, it's been around, but it's definitely hear about it a lot more now. But it, you know, that's good. We've had a way to still communicate and do things like this, though, even with all that going on.
Yeah, like it feels like the world has even expanded a bit. We've been able to make more connections. Yeah,
you're right, though. You're right. It does feel like that. You know, we found a way to stay connected even through all the, you know, the craziness.
Definitely. Well, it is approaching 9:45, and we are going to hear a quick message from one of our underwriters, and then we'll be right back with Bryant C Project. So be sure to stick around for all that and more here on WRFL Live, your only alternative lab.
This portion of WRFL's program is made possible in part by Greenlight.
I'm gonna actually switch guitars for this last song while you do that.
Greenlight offers a cafe and espresso bar in addition to its full-service bike shop. For more information, you can visit greenlightbikes.com or call 859-554-6928. WRFL thanks Greenlight for supporting all.
All right, and we are back with Bryant C of the Bryant C Project here on WRFL Lexington with WRFL Live on your only alternative lab. Once again, my name is Ray. I'm your local music director, and we are going to be doing another WRFL Live next week, the week after that, and we're just going to keep it going as our schedule keeps filling up and filling up. So be sure to go to WRFL.fm to see all the promotions and see more things about our show schedule and to see more information about upcoming WRFL Live. So for now, we're going to get right back into it with the Bryant C project. So we were just talking about how the world has even felt like it's expanded a little bit just because of how much more access we have with Zoom and other internet capabilities. So what do you think that'll look like for the future of musicianship and the future of music?
I think that with the way we were connected before, and then we've kind of expanded with this, through the pandemic, finding more ways to stay connected even with that. Maybe with the two combined, who knows how to be when, things are 100% back to normal. I think it'll help a lot of musicians out as far as the networking and just connections, and it'll help music listeners as well, because, there'll be more that we both learn about how we can hear more and get more out to the people. So I think we'll take a lot from both sides of it, the listener side and the musician side.
For sure. Yeah, I see you switched over to an acoustic guitar there.
Yes, yeah, I did. My last song is actually more of a hip hop vibe song that has a beat to it. And at the recent shows, I've just been doing a laid back version, and it's been going over well, and people have been liking it. So tonight I just decided to do it on this 12-string acoustic I have, and give them something a little bit different.
12-string. How hard is that to learn?
Yeah, well, actually, it's all in octaves. It's still kind of sectioned off. I got this guitar really for when I went in the studio to do Still Going On, the first single, because if you listen in the studio version, there's a 12-string, tucked in with the electric guitar and everything. But it's got a, it's got a nice full sound. Very nice. And, it's been heard on some songs that, people might have heard that they might not have realized the 12-string was being played on, like Wish You Were Here, Pink Floyd, or, Hotel California, the Eagles. 12 strings definitely, give it a nice full sound. They're fun to play.
I can imagine. It just reminds me of.
And also, you said reminds you of what?
It reminds me of the mandolin that was in my house when I was growing up.
Oh yeah, did you ever mess with it and play it? Did you ever learn it?
I messed with it, did not learn it.
Huh.
Yep, I was a choir kid. I was dedicated to the voice.
That's cool though. I gotta give props to those people who play those, because it definitely seems like a job.
Yeah, definitely. So, mentioned you have about one last song for us. We have about 10 minutes left. How about we hear this song, and then we can
Yeah.
a few more questions and head on over to the Pockabilly Hour at 10.
Sounds good. This was on My Life Story.
Cut to the chase and get to 1985. I just got here and seeing what life was about. It showed me some things that I could never dream of. It made me tell you some things I couldn't just think of. Let's get to the point and I can tell you some match. Your mama dragging 4-year-old out in the cold was really happening. Remember stories of abuse and going to different shelters. Roommate so when I pulled out there in the baggy heaven. Help us mama, help me in the hall. I pulled the fire and I'm damn. Got us kicked out. Well, that many miles will we walk now? Till we meet some new faces and stand with some different strangers and red. My special's nothing for the kid to see. This life was dangerous. And when I remember wondering if I see my dad again. But it all happened for a reason and now I understand. Cause it was my time in life and I played the hand I was dealt. I had no choice and now I'm here to tell. What I'm here to say is my life story. What I'm here to say is my things weren't always so bad. We had some good family time, so just know that. But then it seemed the same will come back again. I'm getting dragged off, I make a phone call to end my trouble in. But I was older now, putting two and two together. While I'm not skipping school, just going through the changes. Feeling things that really nobody knew. Just getting tired of the lies and the mental abuse. Just let me do me and be my individual self. But still don't regret the knowledge in life that I was dealt. I was put on the right path, and on straight on. Sometimes I'm still here to tell it, and that's a blessing of mine. I'll never forget those close encounters with death and chemicals in me and guns pulled on me, but there was something left. And you better believe and I'm thankful for it all, cause every day's a lesson, some rise and some fall. What? All I'm here to say is my love story. You can't take it from me. Oh, no, all I'm here, you can take it from me. Oh, yeah, by this time in life, there was so much going on, living from coast to coast till my son was born. Time to plant my feet and stay in one place. Had the best intention, but you gotta watch out for snakes and people hidden intention. Just let me and mine be. But some out here, just so the minute you see, was plotting on me all along, and it's one in my seeds. And do whatever it is you can, just to get in between. They gotta keep my head up. Cause I know God's got a plan, and I might not get it at first, but eventually I'll understand. It's gotta keep on stepping, best lessons coming in. Gonna leave my mark and let them know where I begin, because I've come too far just to give up now. Even though it's crossed my mind a couple of times, it ain't the way out. And I don't want my family crying at my funeral thinking that's what I was about. Life's too good and I don't want to miss out. All I'm here to say is my life story. You can't take it from me.
Right, that was my life story. That was my life story, part of my life story as well.
Thank you for sharing that with us. So, as we said, my life story, hey, Bryant C of the Bryant C Project, here on WRFL Live. It's currently 9:53. We have a few more minutes, and yeah, thank you for sharing that one. So, what inspired you to sit down and write your life story?
Well, thank you. It was, I think my cousin made a comment on something one time. He was like, I was talking about this next track, and he threw that name out there. And I have gone. There's been a lot of things in life. We've all gone through our things in life. We all have our life stories. But the things I've gone through have taught me things. Lessons learned. Good and bad, good decisions, bad decisions, and I just wanted to share it with people, and I just wanted to give away from my listening more. And it was just some things that I really didn't want to hold into myself. I just wanted to, kind of let it be known out there. And, I think when I was writing that, I think like a page a night was coming out. It ended up being like 5 pages, and I knew, where it was time to stop at. And I felt good about how it came out, and, did a nice music video for it. And yeah, it's definitely a track that I'm, still proud of to this day.
Yeah, and you should be. It was excellent. Yeah, and thank you again for sharing it with us.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
We have about 5 minutes left. So where can people find you? Where can people find you on social media? Find your merch, find your music? Where can people get more of the Bryant C Project?
Well, first and foremost, you can visit my official site, BryantCproject.net. That's BRYANTCproject.net. And you can find me on Facebook under the Bryant C Project, Instagram, Bryant C27. You can find the music on all your music platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, wherever you like to get your music from. Music from the Bryant C Project is there. And, I've got music videos on YouTube, interviews, live performances, and things like that. And, I want to give a shout out before we're finished to Fredi Handshoe here at Jettlane Studios for having me here to, do this episode of WRFL. It feels real special tonight. It's probably, my favorite episode I've done. I say that each time, but that just means they're getting better and better. But for artists out there that want to know a good place to come and record, Fredi Handshoe on Facebook, Jettlane Studios, going out here. You can check out some of my music, like The Wind Cries Mary was recorded here. And I want to give a shout out to WRFL and thank you all for having me, and my baby boy at home, Hendrix, who's 10 months old, gonna be 11 months this month. And my birthday's Sunday, so you all really gave me a good present for having me. Thank you.
Happy early birthday.
Oh, thank you.
So I gotta ask you one more difficult question before we close out.
Oh, I love it. Go ahead.
You have to pick one album to listen to for the rest of your life, your desert island album. What would it be?
My desert life album. For the rest of my life, I would probably have to say, Jimi Hendrix is a big influence, and he's got a lot of good albums, but you really got me with that. But I'd have to say Axe as Bold as Love. I'm feeling so guilty for leaving so many artists and albums out. You really got me with that. But I love questions like that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to say, Axe as Bold as Love. I love the sound and the vibe of that album and the things Eddie Kramer, his producer, the things they created with that. Because that really played music-wise. So I had to take it back. I couldn't pick anything from there. I had to take it back.
Oh, difficult question aside, you answered it, and thank you for that. So thank you once again so much. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, and thank you everyone who has tuned into WRFL Live on our various platforms. You can find more information about WRFL Live at WRFL.fm, or you can contact me at local@WRFL.fm to find out more information about getting your band or your act on WRFL Live. So thanks again to the Bryant C Project for being here and for continuing to make amazing music even during all of this. And we are going to switch it over to the Pockabilly Hour real soon. So thank you all once again, and as always, keep it tuned all the way to the left.